Nashua here on BCTV. I'm Tom King along with Rich McDonough. We have a treat for you this afternoon. The NHIAA Division I Girls Semifinal Lacrosse matchups. And today, your Bedford Bulldogs in Bedford will be taking on Nashua South. And Bedford, I believe, Rich McDonough is on a mission. They lost last year in the finals against Bishop Girton, and I think they came in this year, even though Portsmouth moved up, even though BG is still a threat. I think the Bulldogs have come in this season and said, this is our title, we're going to take it, and I think today is going to be a step for them. We'll see. Nashua South is having its best year ever. We'll see if that's going to happen or not.
I think you nailed it there. I mean, you know, the taste of defeat, I think it was 13-7 in the final last year against Bishop Girton, and Bedford has hung on to that. They've got a big-time experienced group, some senior leadership that feels it, and they will take that sting from last year, and they have woven it into their season. They've had great runs, et cetera, played some wonderful competition, and I mean, they came in, I think, 10 or 11 in a row winning, and they're dominating.
They are. Their only loss is their only defeats are out of state, in out-of-state competition. They are undefeated in New Hampshire, but all those games count, and we're having the draw right now. But the players to watch, obviously, number 29, Reagan O'Brien for Bedford, and I believe it's number 14, Ella Benzekri for Nashua South. She's terrific. Pinkerton tried to do what they could to stop her. She's still got 3 goals. The rest of the Panthers are going to have to pick it up to help out Ella in today's game. But boy, that Bedford defense can really shut you down, and we'll see if that works.
They're talented all over the field, Tom.
They really are.
And they win the draw right out of the gate. Something you and I talk about a lot is the all-important draw control here. And going right to the cage immediately is everything. Reagan O'Brien, she's headed to Penn, and she takes it right down the right side slot. He fires a nice bounce shot by right by the Kira Walsh, the junior goalie, and you know she's a good goalie, but there was no stopping that.
Did not waste any time at all as she just went to the right side and just fired it quickly.
Yeah.
And you know that's just it. You jump on a team like that, even in a game of lacrosse, Rich McDonough, where there's a lot of goals scored. Usually, you open up so quickly into a game. I think that sets a tone.
It does set a tone, and it's only 24 seconds in.
Right.
And now we got a 1-0 lead for the Bulldogs.
All right, the draw is at the middle of the field, and of course, you know, Rich McDonough, how important the draw is in any girls lacrosse game.
And possession is what?
10/10 of the law.
The TKpedia.
Yeah.
But Matthews and Ella Benzekri, number 14, that's going to be a good draw matchup, and Ella can play ball. But you had a quick violation. Back on offense go the Bulldogs. What you want to do, I think, Tom, is, you know, they've got a 4-headed monster with Enners, Grogan, O'Brien, and Matthews.
It did. Matthews took the ball from midfield, went all the way down untouched, and all of a sudden it's
and how dare I look at a roster for 2 seconds.
That's just it. I'll tell you, you blink against this Bedford offense in a game like this, and you may miss something.
Yeah. So now at 24-20-0, and that, Tom, is why Olivia Matthews is going to James Madison in 2 upset wins over Maryland. I'm a Maryland guy, so I consider it an upset, but Jason doesn't think so. They're getting a fast stick handler in Matthews there. 24-21 left in the first half, and it's already 2-zip. Draw circle we go.
Remember, this is, I believe, such trip here since the middle 2000s, so 2006 to 2007.
Right.
So
yeah, I think it was 07, right?
Yeah, and this is their best since then. Had a great year. That's what South needed.
Well, and that's Maddie Kiley there, number 3. Brother plays for Bishop Girton.
Yes.
And you know, she's a terrific sophomore out. Elevates with that left hand from below GLE.
South's issue is going to be trying to bring the ball upfield, right? Look at how difficult it's been. but they do a job to get it upfield.
Well, and Morgan Uzdanovich, number 7, I called the game, the quarter the other day against
and she had 3 goals, didn't she?
But she was instrumental in hunting getting it clear.
Yep.
That's going to be a key today.
Clear is the big thing. Yep.
And then the other end on that shot by Kylie, Kira Walsh made a nice 5-hole save. Big for her, and she's got to have good outlet passes, I think. Anyway, 23 fifth clock, settled possession here for Kiki McIntyre's squad.
And on that, South was very deliberate. They took their time. I think for a couple of reasons. 1, a little bit of tournament jitters maybe. 2, the game plan down a little bit against Pinkerton. And 3, the intense heat.
It was 120.
Right. And it has got to be about 50 degrees cooler on the field now than it was on Thursday. That is incredible.
See them coming off the field when I went down after the game, and they were gassed but happy. And hopefully they drink a ton of water.
There's no way they could have played a fast pace on that day.
No way. Both teams slowed down. Cool.
And that makes for some good lacrosse. But they're slowing it here, and I think that's they cannot run with Bedford, but what a great defensive play by Bedford.
Beautiful check by Matthews, number 2.
And
good outlet.
Here they come.
And look at hunting the ball. They don't wait. They go to space, get to the green.
They want to play fast. This is not a day to slow it down for Bedford. They are going to play.
Our first foul of the game. 21:54 and counting. It's 2-zip. Bedford, and we got our first 8 possession right down the pipe. Handling the ball is number 29. Wow, fantastic save by Kira Walsh.
Walsh has played well this year for them. You know, he has been kind of everybody focuses on Menzekri and some of the other players. Walsh has played very well for Nashua South.
She'll give one up here and there, but it said she's clutch when it counts.
Yeah.
And she made some spectacular saves the other day. 8, quote unquote, only 8 saves, but 4 or 5 of them were lights out.
This is a position they haven't been in before.
Right.
You know, that
Matthews with a beautiful feed, finding number 26 out there. That's Ellie Enners. Terrific handler.
Yeah, those are opportunities, though. Bedford has missed now twice.
What I think Coach McIntyre is going to want to do is
the double team.
Yep. They got a decent slide there, maybe a little back or D. We'll see that.
Yeah, they forced Bedford to reorganize again.
All right, and here comes All-American Sydney Grogan, number 1, handling the ball, puts it on the turf, and gets it back. But good defense.
Better lacrosse player or better basketball player? What do you think?
I'd say better lacrosse player, but I think she's still hurting from that knee injury in basketball. Wow, what a rip. Olivia Matthews is making a statement early and often today.
From 10 yards out, to her left. We're going to have a little slowdown here with the internet, so we won't see the replay.
Yeah, sunspots.
She goes to her left and then fires one that Walsh, I don't think, could complete. There it is right there. Walsh couldn't quite see it. There it is. Watch her go to her left.
Yep.
Fires it. Yeah, Walsh saw it, but inside just beat her.
Yeah, she's got a big shot with both hands, but that one was a ripper on the hip. And I'm an old goalie.
I know you are.
We always say you can't stop what you can't see.
Right.
And that was smoking. Now to the faceoff dot. Enners gets up there. And watch Matthews from her position all alone over there. Whether they do a kind of line drive or a punch up, we'll see. And it goes up, and here comes Matthews on the charge. But that's good wheels by Maisie Barker. No surprise there.
Yeah, Barker's pretty fast.
A terrific basketball player.
Made a big defensive play in the quarterfinals that led to the go-ahead goal.
Yeah, it made it 8-7. And here we're gonna have a long open set and a spin.
I'll tell you what, though. If you play slow, you better score, right? If you play slow against this Bedford team, that's great. They don't have the ball, but you better put something on the board.
Right.
Because if not, it defeats the purpose almost.
Well, and you certainly don't want Bedford to be Bedford because they've been averaging 16 goals a game.
Exactly.
And holding their opponents to 6.5.
Final score when these two teams played earlier in the year was 13-8.
Yeah, that was on May 19th.
Yep. And I bet the temperature was warmer.
New Hampshire, Tom, you don't like the weather? Wait 5 minutes.
No, if you don't
and I'm a Marylander.
No, if you don't like the weather, move.
I like it. 19-14 and counting.
God awful up here, I'm telling you.
All right, Maisie Barker is going to get outside there for restart at the 12-meter fan at the 19-minute even mark now.
What's the play here? Because their defense is going to convert.
Well, it's indirect, so you got to make a pass. Right. It was a nice pass. It was a little too tall, but it was a good look. Looking for Zdanovic.
And an unforced error there. South loses possession. They get a free possession restart, an indirect, and they turn it over. That's not good. You don't want to do that.
That was my third key to the game, was
no turnovers.
Limit your unforced errors.
Yeah.
That's what turns coaches' hair gray.
You could mark that down in any sport, in any level.
Look at the speed from 29, Regan O'Brien out
look
there.
how fast Bedford gets the ball downfield and sets up. And they won't take that long to try to shoot.
All right, and they get it behind a GLE. 18-19 on the clock in the first. It's 3-zip. Bedford out to a good quick lead with 2 quick goals off the early draw control.
But South has done a decent job, Rich McDonough, of limiting that, because it looked like it could be 6-7-0 by this point, right? 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in.
All right, and that was a sloppy play. Coach Hodgson is not going to like that. You're just hanging your stick, not recognizing that the defender is camped out behind you.
But they recover from it.
Yep, ground balls go their way. And another great save by Walsh there.
Well, they tried to go upper right corner, and Walsh makes the big stop.
Matthews had a point-blank look at that.
Yeah.
All right, clearing is going to be key.
I almost think that point-blank like that, it's maybe even better to just duck down and fire low when they least expect it.
But they have such great stick skills. They can head fake and ball fake as well as anybody. I was just saying clearing is going to be key for South here.
We said earlier.
They put it on the dirt.
They're going to have trouble getting the ball upfield.
Look at that.
Oh, look at
attacking
that
top Grogan wide open. Upper right. That is a BB. It's not going anywhere but into the back of the net.
Okay, Mr. Goalie, you see that play. You know it's a give and go. You know you're going to be one-on-one. What do you do?
I would hold, stay tall and big, and you got to match stick on stick. That's just the cardinal rule.
So watch it right here. There's the give and go. All right, you're one on an island.
Yeah, it's just too good. I mean, she's an All-American. Yep. She's going to Yale, and we just saw why. She's a terrific athlete, even with an 80% knee.
Well, she's going to Yale, and I'm going down on the field for a little while to do the pictures for the National Telegraph, and I'll be back up to join you before the end of this first half.
And I'll be reading and looking with Sunday coffee tomorrow.
So will I.
Yeah. All right, back to the face-off. The draw circle we go. All right, instantly picking that up as Ellie enters. Great athlete, and off to the races comes O'Brien, number 29, looking to set it back up into Coach Hodgson's offense. Fast pace, as we've said a few times, really favors the Bulldogs. Coach McIntyre would like to shut down the big four or limit them. That's a very difficult task to accomplish. And, how much momentum can you limit? That's what we want to see if you're wearing purple today. They're going to get some. They're going to get some of their own. There's no doubt about it. And look, they're attacking from the top again with a good feed by Sydney Grogan. Ball goes down, and Maisie Barker, number 2, pecks that up, draws a little contact. We're going to have a restart with Barker with the ball at the 16-13 mark. Clock rolls in girls lacrosse. There's no shot clock. We've been watching a lot of women's NCAA ball. They have a 90-second shot clock. Not so in the high school level at either side of the aisle. And good clear by the Panthers there. That's Karina O'Donnell, number 5. Getting to good space. No need to jam it in. Better we have it than they have it. And they're maintaining some control and eating up clock, which is really important for Coach. But as Tom King just said a while ago, got to score. And Maddie Metalewski is number 4 is perfectly capable of scoring. She's a good athlete, long strides, and 15:27 mark. She's got a restart just inside the 12-meter fan, or toes on the line at the 12-meter fan. You got to stay 4 meters behind on the restart if you're the defender. All right, again, we got a wide open set to start out. Going to spin it, use some time, coming down to the 15-minute mark early. Again, Rich McDonough here with for Nashua ETV and Bedford Community Television. We got a joint production going on today. And we're on channels, BCTV channel 23, HD is 1072, Nashua ETV, as always, is 99. 14:45, Coach McIntyre's offense looks to get into some sort of rhythm here, but again, they're chewing clock, and here's an unforced error, but it goes right back to Ella Benzekri. She takes a right-handed shot, gets a good check from a Bulldog out there, and it sails high, but the Panthers are closest to the line at the moment it goes out of bounds. That's the rule. Diving doesn't help unless you get a fist on the ground. It's where your feet were. All right, Zdanovic brings it through X, passing it through from left to right. If you're the goalie, right to left if you're watching on TV, and up here in the booth. Almost at the 14-minute even mark. And it's 4-0 Bulldogs. The last thing Coach McIntyre wants to do is give that ball back to the ladies in white. A desperation bounce pass finds to Maisie Barker. Now, Maisie Barker, great feet, really quick, and she's the definition of grit. We got almost a moving pick there by Benzekri, number 14. No call. Contact must happen, so no call. 13:30 mark, 4-0 Bedford. It's been a fluid game so far. There are almost no stoppages, occasional foul here and there, limited free possession so far. That's another key. You don't want to give the great shooters of Bedford too many shots from the 8 on any part of the 8-meter, but especially up the gut. One more time, shot sails wide of the goalie in there. That's Abby Widener. She is a senior, wearing number 19. She's pint-sized, but she is a very good, technically savvy goalie. Gets the stick rotated down low in a heartbeat and keeps her eye on the ball, and her feet stay very calm. That is a great, great combination if you're a goaltender. All right, that was a forced pass there by Zdanovic, and it instantly results in a race, a foot race, actual track meet among 2 Division I athletes there. And I'm talking college Division I. What a pass. What a pass by O'Brien, finding Matthews. Just too much speed and too much pinpoint accuracy for the Bedford Bulldogs. 12:23 in the first half. And it is 5-0 Bulldogs. Hot start for Bedford. Not what you wanted if you were wearing purple. But that's the way the game goes. So listen, we got mobile apps to talk about today. BCTV's live channels and on-demand content are now easier to access at your fingertips than ever before. Bedford Community Television is available for free download on Apple iOS and Android. So download the Bedford Community Television app from your app store today. Also, friends of ours, if you're enjoying the game, you want to check out more BHS sports action from Bedford Community TV on your Apple TV and Roku. You can also watch on Amazon Fire TV via the Cablecast Screenweave, quote unquote, and that's an app. Download that app if you want to watch the next game live on your big screen. And this has been a busy day in New Hampshire, that's for sure. Tom King told me that. I believe he said every single sport has playoff action today, which means he's got to clone himself, and he just popped back into the box to join us. But we have upcoming games to talk about. The NHIAA D1 quarterfinal boys lacrosse versus Merrimack is at 7 p.m. tonight, and you want to check that out. We also have the D1 championship girls lacrosse. which will be Portsmouth or Bishop Girton. That's coming up next right here at Bill Ball Stadium at Exeter High School, and that's at 7 o'clock p.m. Tom and I will be here for that. And you want to catch Bulldog playoffs games locally on Xfinity Channel 23 or HD 1072 or BedfordTV.com or the BC TV app that we just discussed. Make sure you check it out at BC TV social media and the NHCCM Sports broadcast schedule for all our upcoming games.
Well, that was quite a possession for Nashua South. They held. Problem is, they didn't get a shot on goal.
And they were running almost as fast as I tried to do my reads here.
Yeah, did not get a shot on goal. You hold the ball that long, you win half the battle. You don't get a shot on goal, you lose the battle. And that's what's happening. And Bedford comes down and scores in the blink of an eye with Matthews. I believe is that number 3 for her? I believe it is.
I think it was.
Yep, and that means it's a 5-0 Bedford lead. That's why Kiki McIntyre called timeout for Nashua South.
And our producer, Andrew Fenn, to my left, was watching as I read everything out loud. And this is why I'm a recovered lawyer, Andrew. But he's terrific at production. It's
yes,
really
we
good
don't
to be
want
with
Andrew
you guys.
to be a recovered producer. We want him to stay as a producer.
That's right.
He is top-notch.
All right, we got another draw, and same 2 characters. We got Ella Benzekri and Olivia Matthews. I mean, she's all over the field. Defensively, outstanding. Outstanding at the draw circle, and we've seen how great a shooter and cutter she is.
At any level in high school, your best player is usually your best athlete.
Right.
And the player who can do multiple things. And that's what makes high school sports so much fun, because you don't know what this guy's going to do in this situation.
Sure.
Because he's going to be around and doing a lot of things for his team.
Well, and good
girl or guy.
And lucky for Coach Hodgson, she's got about 5 Swiss Army knives out there.
Yeah, she's got players. And, this is a talented team.
Yep. And it's an era, Tom, where you have specialty players galore, but these young ladies can do
at this level.
Whatever.
Specialization is hard. I think if you're going to be, but see, all right, here we are with South again, and look, their whole goal in this game is to play keep away. The only problem with that is, and you have to do it, is you've got to score at some point. You've got to put the ball in the net.
Well, I'll tell you, and Bedford's ready for that, clearly.
Sure, and I was down there, and what they did was tell their defenders, don't chase up. Stay in their zone that they were in, and then start to cover.
Look at the blanket coverage by the Bedford D.
But when South brings the ball back up, they don't want the defenders to come up with them and create the space in the middle. And that's what they've been telling that's what the coaching staff for the Bulldogs, Christine Hodgson and her assistants have been telling them throughout these long South possessions.
Right. And you've got a double stack over here near side.
Yeah, look at it.
To the camera.
Right.
You've got groups of 3, 2 groups of 3. You got a 6-person stack all the way on the right side.
See that on the left side, right, left part of your screen.
But Bedford's not having any of it. They just blanket. They're suffocating defense right now. The off-ball picks are not working because they're so talented on D, in addition to being fantastic on offense.
Anytime Benzekri touches the ball, there's 2 people near her. And that's what happens, a turnover. They get the call. They get the call, and it goes back the other way. And look at this. Now, here's a fast play right here.
Well, off the restart, Benzekri took the space that was given. She split the defenders. But did you see how quickly Bedford recovered, Tom?
Yes.
All right, restart with Benzekri, number 14 with the ball. Back to the open set goes Coach McIntyre's Panthers, and we're hitting the 10-minute mark, and they're down 5.
Do you agree with this strategy? I do in a way, but I just think you got to tell your players you got to shoot at some point.
Well, as I said earlier, you can't let Bedford be Bedford.
Right.
And if they have a double-digit
if they have double digits by halftime, you're sunk.
Yeah, you have to keep it low somehow.
Right.
Bedford's closest game recently was against Powerhouse. I forget which. Anyway, it was a 10-9 or a 10-11 game.
Save.
Yeah, I tell you, there's Abby Widener again. I said while you were out, Tom, that she's a very good technical goalie. Yep. She keeps her feet calm and lets her stick do the talking.
And makes the big stop.
And that was a chance that...
and that's Nashua South's first shot on goal. First shot on the goal.
Look at that.
Look at this, how fast
instant offense. You blink your eye, and they're on the crease.
Look at how fast this is. Yep. Now they go into a little bit of a set, but they won't take nearly as long. 9:03 left to play in the half.
They don't have to, and they don't want to.
Right.
You know, they want to attack the top side, get off-ball cuts, little gives and goes, and once in a while they attack from X. But this is a dynamic dodging team.
Same type of shot we've seen earlier, coming from the right side to the left and then crossing over with a shot. This time Walsh was ready for it. They're aiming at that right corner. They've fired a ton there in this game.
Yeah,
so they may have spotted something on Walsh, and there's a turnover. Nope, Bedford keeps it. I thought South picked it up, but they didn't.
Well, I'll tell you, Matthews on that last sweep, her first step this is why she's going to James Madison.
Yep.
It is powerful and lightning quick. Look at the restart. Matthews goes hard to the goal, and Walsh gets her stick off stick high and comes down with another one. Nice outlet
nice
pass.
Clear. Yeah, nice outlet.
But look at the speed. Giving chase there is Audrey Purnell, number 4. And she was
Zachary, I think, may take this all the way. Nope, they're going to pull it back out. No, they're going to try to give and go, and they turn it over. They get two. Oh, they hurry up.
Well, you saw that, Tom.
It's tough. I think it's awfully tough, Rich, for a team that's to slow things down. All right, it's good. You have to do it in this game, but then to speed it back up. You know.
Well, you had to take your shot there.
Yep.
But you saw how relentless and disciplined Bedford is. They chased and didn't quit until they were on ball and forced the turnover.
And then Walsh, now they take a quick shot, and Walsh makes a quick save, gets the ball out. Now South's going to try to struggle to get the ball over the midfield line.
Well, and that was heads-up play there by Danovich, number 7. She gets it over to Abby Benatti, who did a good role-playing job the other day. And a little bit too much contact there.
I was just going to say, 3-on-1 is going to be some contact. There's no room to go.
Yeah, once you get your arms out like that, you're going to draw that whistle.
Yeah.
Just under the 7-minute mark now. Still 5-0 Bedford. 5-0. Under 7 minutes. Well, you can't be unhappy if you are Coach McIntyre.
If South could put a couple up and keep Bedford below 8, they'll be happy with that half.
Right.
You know?
And I expect them to shave another 2 minutes off here.
Well, 6:34, I would think so, right? I would think so. Now, see, you've been used to it, Rich. You've seen a lot of college lacrosse this spring where there's a shot clock. So it's a little different. I think the shot clock is about 80 seconds?
It's 90 in women's,
90 in women's,
80 in men's.
80 in men's, yep.
Yeah, and while you were out, I made the point that, we've all been watching a lot of college tournament ball where they have that shot clock.
Right.
But in high school, you can get a stall warning. But if you're executing an offense and an offensive plan that involves a slow going,
they'll let you go.
They're going to let you go. I mean, if you just hang it outside the restraining line or something like that, they're going to have to call something. But look at the weave going on. You got Stacks opposite the ball. Good cut, try to sweep.
No, she wanted to shoot.
Defense.
She wants to shoot, can't find the opening, and then passes
there's another
off.
Unforced error, buddy.
Another turnover by Benzekri. And Bedford will take over.
Well, and even though it was clearly, to all our eyes, a pass, Bedford runs out the ball to the sidelines just in case, in the off chance it was ruled a shot. That's just discipline practice.
You have to do it. I always say, if there's a ball loose on the field, go get it, right?
Go get it. Hunt the ball.
Yep.
All right, Sydney Grogan gets it down the left alley into the long cross of that's Denon, Natalie Denon, number 22. She's an attacker, long, lean strider.
Clock, as you see on the right side, right bottom of your screen, we are at the 5-minute mark. And it's a 5-goal game.
And they clear out for O'Brien, and boy, she beats Walsh in the 5-hole. I mean, you blink your eye, and O'Brien was 2 strides ahead of her defender.
No doubt about it. Watch, see, you couldn't even see it. There she goes, and she shoots very quickly. I didn't even think there was a shot being taken, and then all of a sudden it goes in the net. You saw that shot right there.
Beautiful split dodge there. Gets underneath, gets under the right hip, left hip of her defender, and the defender couldn't even do a drop step or even a hip turn to get back into defensive play. She's that fast. And again, that's why she's going to Penn. We've got committed athletes all over the field for Bedford. On the other side, Ella Benzekri is going to Stony Brook.
Right.
Great Long Island tradition out there. and one of our rivals when I was playing at Fairfield. 4:50 on the clock, 6-0 Bedford. Rich McDonough and Tom King here for a joint production between BCTV and Nashua ETV. Glad to be with you. And draw control
Shot
immediate.
coming.
Oh, that's a good shot by Purnell and a really good save by Walsh.
And Walsh knew his shot was coming right away. She saw the opening and she said, okay, they're going to fire it at me. I got to be ready for it. And she cut the angle down a little bit. Shot was down low and she makes the basket save.
Well, it's 6-0, but Walsh has been giving it her all, Tom.
She's got 6 saves in this game, Rich.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to make those gnarly saves. It's just the way of life of a goalie.
Oh, you guys are all crazy.
We're a little bit crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing wrong with having a few screws loose. Fortunately, I'm married to an engineer, so I can be easily repaired. All right, Maisie Barker, number 2. As we said, great basketball player. I think she made All-State, did she not?
Yes, she did.
Yeah. And I think I said it when we were covering her, the definition of grit in the dictionary.
Yeah, we did a couple of her
pictures.
games. Yeah, she's really good.
Absolutely.
Yep, transferred from Girton to South.
Yep.
And, got the playing time she wanted and was basically a great fixture for the Panthers for the last couple of years.
And a real nice kid.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt about it.
3:30.
And a good leader on that team, I think, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. She pulled the team with her when she got going. All right, we're under 3:30. It is Bedford Bulldogs 6 and Nashua Purple Panthers 0. They're chewing up lots of clock, as we've been discussing. It's kind of one of the main storylines here. But as Tom has said a couple of times at least, you gotta put your few chances in.
Yeah, you've got
to
take advantage of the chances and try to get something home.
Look at the defensive footwork there by Matthews.
It's just great. It's all feet. It's all footwork. It's all knowledge of where the player may go, which direction, and everything else.
They're so well coached and disciplined, but they want this. You can see it.
Well, I could see it at the beginning of the season, they sloshed their way through a rainy night against Bishop Girton. I watched some of that game. I watched a lot of that game.
Yeah.
And you could tell that Bedford was, obviously the rain was a factor. BG is very good, but they want a championship. And when they beat Portsmouth, I think that was their biggest win of the year.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, no doubt, because Portsmouth came into the state, into Division I they were just on fire. They just started out like a house of fire, and the Bulldogs just took a bucket of water and poured it right over them.
Well, in that Bishop Girton game, I think Bedford was down 6-5 at the half.
They were.
Which I found a little eye-opening because, last couple of years, Girton has graduated 18 or 19 players, and I think they had 5 All-Staters last year.
The weather was a factor.
Was it?
Especially in the second half of the game.
Okay, I wasn't able to see the second.
And Girton was not able to get the goal that they needed to stop a Bedford run, and the Bulldogs ended up winning in a close game.
And I think it's important.
9-7. I think the final.
I think Sydney Grogan was not playing in that game.
I don't remember her name being called. So.
Yeah, instrumental. She's one of the 4 heads of the 4-headed monster I described earlier. And again, she's going to Yale.
All right,
and,
we're at
real dummy.
We're at 1:23 to go. South's goal is probably to hold the ball. Are they holding, you think, Rich, for a last shot?
Probably.
Yeah,
I would.
I guess so.
I got to say, a few years ago, I coached this very game when I was at Hollis Brookline, and we were playing Dairyfield.
Right.
And it was 4-0 in the fourth quarter, and I was reasonably happy about it.
Right, sure.
Yeah, and they got a couple garbage goals when we had to press at the end. But, this is what Coach McIntyre wanted. And
the whistle. And I think it's going to go the other way. I think it's going to go to Bedford.
Yeah, I think we had a moving pick.
Bulldogs will be happy as they will have the possession. They're under 1, and it may take just one for them to score, as in second, not minute, the way they play. So here we go.
Well, I tell you, I like Audrey Purnell.
Now, they'll probably hold for the last shot, I think, wouldn't they?
Sure.
Up 6-0, why not?
Well, they could score 3 times in 30 seconds, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, I think they'll hold it.
I mean, they're wide open set right now. You got a pick-off ball starting to happen.
Yeah.
Trying to free up Natalie Denon right there, number 22. Nothing doing there. But they're smart. Look at the cut. Backside cut. and it trickles free, and Walsh scoops it up. You got 14 seconds. Do you force the action and risk a turnover? I don't know.
There's the turnover right there. 7 seconds.
Accurate passing.
Let's see how long it takes. They're going to get a shot off. There it is.
Wow,
no.
What a rip by Reagan O'Brien, and that winds us to the end of the half, Tom.
Do it here at halftime. The folks in Bedford are happy. The folks in Nashua, not so much. The score at halftime here, everybody, on BCTV. Simulcast on Nashua ETV. The score, it is the Bedford Bulldogs 6, Nashua South nothing here in the Division I semifinals. Stay tuned for the second half. We'll be back after this. And welcome back to the second half, everybody, here at Bill Ball Stadium on, I guess you could say, the campus of Exeter High School. They've got a pretty good field complex here. Tom King along with Rich McDonough here for our audience on BCTV. And also we want to remind you to stay tuned on BCTV for the Bedford Merrimack boys quarterfinal that is being played at 7 o'clock. And also on National ETV, we will have Rich McDonough. We will be here, stay here for the BG Portsmouth game.
Looking forward to that one for sure.
Halftime here at 6-0. And Rich McDonough, your assessment of the first half?
I think Coach McIntyre got a lot of what she wanted, which was a single-digit score.
No doubt about it.
But it's a zero-digit score the other way.
If it was 6-3, she'd be a lot happier.
And when Bedford got its looks, I mean, they missed the cage a few times. That happens. Kira Walsh made some lights-out saves, and that's critical.
I have her for 6 stops, and I also have Olivia Matthews for 4 goals.
Yeah, but I think 4 of Walsh's saves were, I thought, probably going to end up in the net. And she's rising to the occasion, and it's the reason they don't have 10 goals or more.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The other reason is the fact that South has just held the ball for at least, I would say, estimate at least a minute 30 each possession on an average.
Right.
On an average. Some have been longer, some have been quicker, and unforced errors have hurt South as well. And in goal, Bedford has 1 save. So 1 shot on goal for Nashua South. That is not what they want, but holding Bedford down is what they want, as the Bulldogs have it right here.
What a rising cut there by Natalie Denon, number 22. Good feed, nothing doing though. Patient defense by the Purple Panthers to start. Again, 25-minute halves, mostly running in girls lacrosse. And Purple Panthers, we said it earlier, Tom and I did, you got to clear. And right into a triple team goes Maisie Barker. They put it on the turf, but it stays with the women in purple, and Barker mishandles it, puts it back on the turf after she had a
Ouch
step.
for South, yes for Bedford.
And now you don't want to be staring right down the pipeline at Ellie Enders, number 26, out there. She can rifle it.
As we've said, there are multiple sports having, almost just every sport has got something going today. Even volleyball. South Egan had to play a volleyball game that was pushed from Friday to today. So that categorizes as every sport is in action today in the spring in tournament competition. And for you Bedford baseball fans, you are 1-1 after 7 innings at Londonderry.
After 7.
After 7.
Look, that is a great, great drive by Reagan O'Brien, going down the alley, fading away almost, and she drives the near post, shoots the far.
Watch it right here. She gets away from the defender. That's the key. She dodges to her right, gets away from the defender, and puts the shot in the far corner.
And it's no small chops to get away from Maisie Barker, who's got great feet. But there you see why O'Brien is going to Penn. Great coaching in her youth. I believe her father played midfield at Army, and some good DNA going on there.
There you go. For those of you in the Nashua area, Hollis Brookline has a softball pitcher who's pitched today, I believe, Austin Kump, and she is going to West Point, and she is going to play softball while
Fantastic. And another guy who's going to West Point is Connor Gabord at BG.
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent, excellent midfielder.
Yep.
All right, just what they needed is some possession. Tom keeps saying it's 10-10 of the law. And as a recovered lawyer, I can vouch for that.
And South's had plenty of possessions, but they haven't been able to score. But they've been able to play keep away. They've been playing keep away for a half. At some point, Rich McDonough, they're going to have to start playing lacrosse.
They're going to have to start taking some chances. But when they've gotten some looks, Bedford collapses, and they've gotten doubles, and they've gotten, trail checks on the butt ends of the sticks. It's just, you take you out of your game, but they still have a different level of game, even when you get into a slow-mo offense. It just shows you how deep Bedford is and how adept they are at multiple types of situations. Anyway, 22-25 left in second half, and the Purple Panthers find themselves down 7-0. They got into a running game with Pinkerton the other day in the second half after that tedious first half. It was measured, I think. Pretty good feed, missed, and that's Widener and ends up with the inner bucket there.
That's her second save. It's only the second shot that's gone on goal for Nashua. Not the second shot they've taken, but the second shot on the net. They've had a couple go wide and bounce wide, as often the case in lacrosse.
I tell you, Purnell, number 4, is a good-looking junior. She's got her chin up all the time when she handles the ball. Like a good point guard, and gets it to her strong running mates there. Again, another wide-open set for Bedford to start out. They want to take a look. I think, they're going to see if Coach McIntyre is going to go into a zone.
Flip.
Haven't seen it. They stay man. Good pick there. Good pick by Sidney Grogan, and a big shot by Matthews. Wow.
The Bulldogs love to go right to left with their offense. And Matthews did just that and fired a quick one, but that one was wide.
Well, she's got that cannon, the hip shot.
Yeah, from the left side.
Nice elevation and shot by Kylie there.
Walsh. Boy, Walsh gets down there. She got low. She bent her knees down, makes the save. She's got 7 on the day, and here come the Panthers. That's Benzekri.
I think that's her third 5-hole save. Very good. And she denies Kylie one more time. 20-40 left in the second half. And the Panthers get back on offense. There's Maisie Barker carrying, looking to step. Hands it over to Orzdanovich, who skip passes it over. And they just stay topside, just under the restraining line, chewing up some more clock. They've already chewed up 30 on this possession alone. Oop. But you don't want to run yourself out of time. You've been kind of implying that, Tom, over the course of this game.
Well, I mean, look, 20 minutes left, and can South score 7 goals in 20 minutes? Yes, but not against Bedford. That's going to be the key. At some point, they're going to have to unleash the hounds, as they say.
They scored 4 in a hurry the other day when Pinkerton had gone on their run, but this is not Pinkerton.
No.
Bedford is awesome on D and awesome on offense, and their transition, as we've seen, is fantastic.
Benzekri's going one-on-one, and she's got a nice move there.
Nice face dodge by Benzekri.
Yeah. Somebody
ate it up inside there. Wasn't a save. It didn't even find its way.
No, it didn't find its way. And Benzekri, there's a turnover.
Nope. All right, we got another foul there, which means we got an indirect free.
It's going to go against Bedford.
Yep, indirect free. Handling the ball there is Maddie Mataluski. She's a good player. Look at her carrying with the right, gets to the right alley, and a good shot, misses wide near post. Left post if you're the goalie.
No harm, no foul. South retains.
Yeah, right post if you're watching on TV. I'm a goalie, so to me it's the left post. I can't help it. All right, 19 minutes even, and down 7-0 are the Panthers, looking to create something, anything. And they've had a couple of decent looks right here on this possession. Another one sails high over the cross, and that's Maddie Mataluski again. That was a good look.
Was.
She nice little roll dodge, got to her right hand, beat her defender, and had a good look. I'd say change planes on that one. But if you got to rip, you got to rip. All right, carrying the ball so often she does is Benzekri. Looking for a pick, doesn't get one. It's kind of a deny of the pick.
She is doing everything she can do to try to get by this defense, and she's not able to do it.
Yeah, too much contact there.
Yep.
Again, we said earlier.
But you know what? If I'm Bedford, go ahead and do that. It throws her out of her rhythm.
Right.
Sure, you get the free position, but still the restart. But still, they got to do something with it.
And again, we talked about it earlier. If you get those hands out like that, with your hands open,
that's a typical lacrosse defensive position in girls lacrosse. I've seen it all the time. Yep.
But that's going to draw a call these days.
Wow, that's really good. They all do it. They all do it.
Well, doing it and getting away with it is an art.
Yep. Mataluski's trying to get around. What does South need here, Rich McDonough? What do they have to do to get around this defense?
Rosary beads?
What do they have to do to get around this defense?
I don't know. I think we saw Mataluski with a really good roll dodge. I think, she's got Libby Norris on her, and she might have a physical advantage there. Maybe try to use it, and she slips under Norris.
And here comes the fast break.
And look at the pinpoint passing.
Yep.
Lots of green space. There's Purnell again carrying the ball. She walks the dog with the left hand, and we're coming down to the 17-minute even mark. Whoa! Purnell's pass just misses O'Brien, skips wide, and the loose balls are going Bedford's way when they are loose.
Yep.
And that's Kylie, number 3, getting it over to Denon.
But yet again, another South possession ends empty-handed as the Bulldogs. South may be dictating the tempo. The Bulldogs are in charge of that scoreboard.
Well, and that says to the rest of the lacrosse world in New Hampshire that they can beat you in any type of situation. Slow down game, they can run by you in a speed up game, you name it. Nice pass there by O'Brien. Finds Denon, she wisely pops it out. Look at the speed and the hustle by Matthews. She puts it in her left, blows right by Maisie Barker, but gets a slide, and you got interference right there. All right, that's going to result in a
restart, free position.
Free position from
direct,
the
right?
second hash. And look at the rip. Wow, that clangs off the iron, and wow, that bounced.
Look at that bounce all the way out to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's a 35-yard ricochet.
Incredible.
Wow. The football lines are consistent with women's lacrosse, so the goal is actually on the goal line. Look at Kylie handle that in traffic. Rolls around with her left hand, and bada bing, bada back of the net. 15:47 left in the second half.
Watch this play.
Yep.
Watch what she does. It's almost like a hook shot, right? All of a sudden gets the stick up over her shoulder and fires it.
We used to call that a phone booth drill. We stole it from Jim Berkman at Salisbury in Maryland, which won the D3 national title by beating Tufts last weekend.
And was that Madison Kiley? I believe it was.
It was Maddie Kiley.
Maddie Kiley, yep. There's the hard shot that clanked off the bar and goes all the way out. Look how far that ball rolls.
Yeah. But Maddie Kiley got tall, like you said, and you want a mambo in a payphone booth, and then she got through her defenders, bang.
Yep.
No chance for Walsh.
8-0 now, and eventually Nashua South is going to have to say, okay, we're going to need to put the ball in the net, or at least try. I mean, they are trying, but they're going to have to try to play a little faster, I think.
And Coach Hodgson's going to get some subs in. Looks like Makita Barry, number 9's going in, along with Ella Dacos. Makita Barry is a freshman, and she's arguably, from what I've heard, the fastest player on the turf for that team, and a fast team. All right, back on offense at the 15-30-minute mark. Go the Bedford Bulldogs with a good 8-0 lead. 8-0 leads can go, 8-goal leads can go away in lacrosse, but not in this type of game.
Not at all. Not the way this team is playing.
Yeah. So they look at the slowdown game. They say, "Okay, we see your slowdown game. We're going to play it right back.
We'll raise you one."
There's nothing slow about O'Brien, though. Look at that stick handling, but he draws a nice check there. Foul. It's going back to the 8 with a free po at the 15-minute mark and counting. And
here we go. Walsh is ready.
Oh, good stop.
And she was ready.
Excellent.
Makes the save. She's got her eyes on it. I think the way to beat her, maybe it was with a bounce shot. I'm not sure.
She did a great job reading that. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought O'Brien was going to rip that into the upper right corner.
So did I. I thought that's where they've been aiming all game, is that upper right. All right, South having a little trouble clearing here, Rich McDonough. And it's going to be a turnover. Look at that. Fast break.
And there's Denon. She's got those long strides. She can get away from anyone.
Of course, if your defense turns it over, the bad news, that's the bad news. The good news is your defense is in position already, so they're able to make the stops.
And Dylan Smith is coming up to join us in the booth here for game 2. Cameraman extraordinaire.
Nashua ETV, that he'll be on camera for the second game that we'll be doing on ETV.
I believe Tim O'Neill's to our left, right, Tom?
Yeah, and you and Bedford will be enjoying Bedford Merrimack boys lacrosse in the quarterfinals.
All right, Matthews goes hard to the goal. 2-on-2 right there. Barker fouls Matthews, and we're going to go to the 8. You're going to be at the third hash there, which is a tough shooting angle, but she's got that awesome left hand. What does she do? Rip it?
Yeah, I think so.
Rip it and rip it.
She does.
And there you go.
There it is.
No chance. That thing was moving at 75 miles an hour.
5 goals that I have Matthews for now.
And
watch this shot.
That thing is buzzing.
She gets the open free start, able to do anything, and just fires it.
Well, that thing was buzzing, but we want to talk about Bedford buzz. We understand the importance of being informed about the latest happenings in your own backyard. Now, the Bedford buzz brings you up-to-date news, interviews, and insightful features, ensuring you're always in the know. Whether you're a longtime resident or a newcomer to our beloved town, the Bedford Buzz is your essential source for all things local. The Bedford Buzz can be viewed on BCTV, Channel 16, HD 1072, and the BCTV app, which we've talked about today, and also, of course, the BCTV YouTube channel. So tune in today to catch the latest episode and immerse yourself in the Bedford experience like never before. Also, we want to talk about the Booster Club for the Bulldogs. The Athletic Booster Club is always looking for new members and volunteers to help support the Bedford High School athletic programs. The Booster Club meets in the BHS Media Center at 7 p.m. on the first Wednesday of every month, so visit bbabc.net to learn more about how you can help or request more information. And as a longtime coach, I got to tell you, the Booster Club is really, really vital. So thanks to everyone who does that. And one more thing, I'm an official in New Hampshire. Become an official. We need more officials in the game, in every sport. And becoming a high school sports official is an easy call. It allows you to continue to be a role model by demonstrating qualities such as impartiality, fairness, and courage. High school sports officials help protect the integrity of the games we love by teaching and enforcing the rules of play. New officials have an opportunity to make a difference in their communities right away. So to learn more about becoming an official, a high school sports official, please visit the NHIAA.org website.
And speaking of that, officials, as we have a 9-0 game, as your scoreboard shows you on the bottom of your screen with 13:24 left. I talked to an official today, a multi-sport official, who told me that there are 2 schools that are opening up on Thursday night in football at the start of the season instead of the usual Friday night, and one of them is Exeter.
Wow.
Yeah, one of them is right here at Exeter, and I forget what he told me. Who he told me the other team was that was opening. It might have been Pinkerton, but I'm not sure. But they are trying to get more football teams to agree to play a couple of games here and there on Thursday nights because of the shortage of officials.
That makes sense. They had to postpone a couple of games.
Yes,
in the
because
lacrosse.
they did not. Right? Yeah, because they didn't have officiating.
So what am I doing in the booth, Tom?
No kidding. I don't know. We go down there, Rich McDonough, and cash in.
Hey, while we were on our time out there, Grace Stewart entered the goal for the Bulldogs, number 27. She played the whole way, I believe, when they played Bishop Girton earlier in the season, and she's a good goalie. But, you know, Widener had found her rhythm and consequently got a lot of PT down the stretch. Good roll. Excellent roll.
And a whistle blew before the shot went in, so they're going to have to start probably from around the 10-yard line.
And we got a yellow card.
Ah, my.
And the speed merchant herself, right after I announced her name, Makita Berry, number 9, is going to go. And they're going to be player up, are the Panthers, for 2 minutes.
All right, South's a player up. They're going to have to try to take advantage of this and at least get on the board, right?
Well, you know, it's interesting. You had a really good move by Uzdanovich, and it went in the cage, and no goal.
And here we go.
But Uzdanovich is right down the pipe
right there
here.
with a free position. 12:34 to play. 8-0 Bedford.
Think she's going to the rack? Oh, you know, she alligator armed it there, and it sailed high.
And not only, it was a pass right to the Bulldogs. So South just having all sorts of problems getting their offense untracked. Speaking of offense, tonight the Bedford-Merrimack game at 7. Those of you in Bedford will be watching that. If your Bulldogs win, they will be playing, I don't think it's any big surprise, Bishop Girton in the semifinals. Bishop Girton won today over Concord. The score that I have is 22-5.
Right. My son finished up the goal.
And that will be Wednesday night right here at Exeter, correct? I think that's it.
Right.
Yep. Wednesday night at Exeter. I didn't believe
finals on Saturday or Sunday.
Sunday. Finals will be Sunday, June 11th, and Division I has the first game at 2:30.
Yep.
And then Division II plays this, or Division III, I believe, plays the 5 o'clock game, and then Division II will play the late game.
Look at Grogan, the speed. One thing I think they're doing is they're saving themselves.
And that's in boys lacrosse.
That's right.
Yep.
So Bedford, you know, is not eager to empty the tank.
No,
Why
you know what? They've got a 9-0 lead, 11:21 to go. Unless South gets on a 2 or 3 goal run, I don't think they're going to really try to.
And they're still player down.
Yeah.
With 30 seconds.
So you might as well. This is what you do when you're a player down, right? You hold on to the ball and try to just milk that clock so that it gives time for the player to come back on the field.
But they were holding it anyway, and I think they realize where they're going to be come finals.
Yeah, I think they realized that in the first 30 seconds of the game, the way they were playing.
All right, we're under 11 minutes left in the second half.
The only question is, who will the Bulldogs play on Tuesday night? Will it right here at Bill Ball Stadium? Will they play Portsmouth? Or will they play Bishop Girton? And you know, the other question I have is, who would they want to play? That's the question, right? Who do you want to play in the finals? Of course, they'll never answer that, but who would they want to play? My guess is they'd love to see Bishop Girton again.
You know, revenge is the best dish.
That's it. They'd love to beat Girton in a final. They lost to them last year.
Yeah, but how about, you know, Portsmouth showed why everybody said they belong in D1.
Well, I don't think there was any question about that. I think the question was what took them so long to get there, why they waited to move up, because they were just annihilating. They weren't annihilating completely, but they were pretty dominant in D2.
Under both coaches.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, Uzdanovich has made 2 great trail checks recently on driving players by the Bulldogs. And consequently, that last shot by Matthews sailed over the net. Yeah.
Yep. Bounce shot.
Grogan with a good burner. Goes wide left, wide right if you're the goalie. 9:35 left in the second half of this game. Bulldogs comfortably up 9-0. Kylie goes 5-hole again, and Walsh stones her one more time.
Walsh is pretty good at the 5-hole. She gave up 1 or 2 5-holes in this game, but she's pretty good. If you're going to aim down low, she's ready for you.
Her mom and I went to Fairfield U together 1,000 years ago. I won't say that to Patty, of course. But, and I never knew her until we got to New Hampshire.
Yep. There you go.
Interestingly enough, my co-captain at Fairfield U coached the Kylie boys in youth lacrosse in Ithaca. But we're glad to have them in Bedford. All right,
a lot of great athletes in Bedford over the last, what was it, 12? How old is that high school now? 12 years?
You tell me. You're TKP. Yeah, no I'll take your word for it.
No kidding, but Bedford's not one of my schools that I cover, but I'm pretty sure it's been about a dozen years. Andrew, we got anything coming up from London? Anything in Londonderry? The 9th, and they're still tied. Okay, tied 1-1 in the 9th.
No barn burner here.
Yeah, we don't get a tie here.
8:25 left in the game.
That's overtime lacrosse is the best. I love it. It's fun.
You ever seen a Braveheart? You put player on player and you have a one-on-one battle. Yep. And goalies at either end and see who can win. Oh, I'll tell you what, Jocelyn Hayward just took, I think was it Hayward? No, it was Bryn Teft, who's a good defender, just took one to the face.
Yeah, she did.
No call.
No, I know it. Another South player got knocked down. It might have been Teft, I'm not sure, but here we go. Here come the Panthers, 7:49. They'd love to at least get on the board in this game.
I tell you, Teft's a defender, but her play against Pinkerton the other day got them here. They stonewalled Pinkerton down the stretch, and now carrying the ball is Zdanovich. Errant pass.
Nothing wrong with South's defense as far as what they've done in this tournament. I mean, they've played, these last two games and have, only given up 17 goals, which isn't bad at all. But here they have 7:16 left to play, and
well, you look at
in the semis, and that's going to pretty much do it.
You look at Bedford; there are a lot of starters still out there, but look at the bench; they're not very deep.
No, they're
Neither
not.
one of these teams.
No,
is particularly deep.
You're right. Not very deep at all.
But
South has more players on their bench for varsity for regular season games. They bring up the JVs and everything else.
Right.
They have more players there, but
your playoff rosters are limited.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, and we got a timeout on the field at the 6:46-minute mark.
There you go, Rich McDonough. That's what you're waiting for, right? 6:46 to play here.
Yeah. Offense gets the call timeouts when they have possession in the and so, I think coach is probably going to say, how do we wind this game out, right? But I tell you what, you can listen to all kinds of stuff from Bedford on WBNH. It's easy to listen to Bedford 1051 online. So go to bedfordnh.org for the stream link. We also stream on apps like TuneIn, MyTuner, Simple Radio, and Radio Garden. Just tell Alexa, if you got it, to play Bedford 1051. And one more reminder, Tom, right? We got some evening ball coming up, right?
Yes, on Nashua ETV. Those of you in Nashua, we will have Bishop Girton and Portsmouth in the other semifinal. For those of you who are in Bedford watching us on BCTV, it will be the Bedford Bulldogs against Merrimack in the Division I boys lacrosse quarterfinals from, I call it Bulldog Stadium, and that's where they're going to be playing, and it's going to be a good game. I think Bedford won by 10 goals during the regular season. That score surprised me, and Merrimack's had a pretty good year.
Much improved.
Yeah, much improved team with Merrimack under an old work colleague of mine, Brian Miller, who coaches the Tomahawks, former Telegraph cohort, who got out of the newspaper business into the teaching business and into the coaching business. Smart guy.
Right. I've met Coach Miller.
Yep.
Good guy.
And so that'll be coming up for you Bedford viewers, and then those in Nashua who want to see BG and Portsmouth in an interesting game. Those two teams played in the regular season. The second game of the year it was for Girton. I think it might have been Portsmouth's season opener, not sure, but the final in that game was 16-11 in favor of Portsmouth, and it really wasn't that close. Really wasn't that close.
Yeah,
Portsmouth,
they got out 5-1.
Yeah, Portsmouth dictated. Here goes Bedford right out the timeout, and a goal. My goodness.
Well, Coach Hodgson drew that up, and do we want to get to double digits? I think the answer affirmatively was yes. Look at the speed by O'Brien. Wow.
Oh, O'Brien all alone as she comes right in. I mean, Pinkerton hadn't even taken his last sip of water yet. 6:23. That was unbelievable.
Well, she's got that big left hand, but if she's not playing lacrosse, she could run track. She is one fast athlete.
Well, there's a lot of kids in New Hampshire that'll do it. And now, let's see, we're at 10 goals there. Now we have running time. So the clock is running. So it says 5:59 left in the game. Unless somebody gets hurt, that's what you got left on your TV screen for this game.
Yeah, barring timeouts.
Yeah, right, exactly. Exactly. And I'll be going down on the field, Rich McDonough, with about a minute to play.
Sounds good to me. Ella Ben-Zekri, boy, you know, there's no quit in her. No, number 14.
No, and she wants a goal. They do not want to get shut out in the semifinals. I'm sure South is just dying for a moral victory.
There is a pride thing. There really is. And she's going to be a Stony Brook's member of the Seawolves coming up, and they're getting a good hard player.
I believe she's got one more year left here, doesn't she? I think.
Did she commit?
Is she a junior or a senior?
Yeah, she is a junior. My bad.
So she's committed, but she's got one more year. A lot of lacrosse players commit as juniors. Nice dish. No.
Well, I was a goalie, so I might be committed. All right, we hit the 5-minute mark, and here comes O'Brien one more time. Gets that ball, walks the dog with the right hand, looks for Sydney Grogan steaming down the middle. She gets it left, gets it outside by the 12-meter. Good tic-tac goal. B2B City. Wow.
My goodness, what a goal.
Olivia Matthews taking a beautiful feed and going B
Look at this.
to
Look at
B.
this. There's tick. There's tack.
There's
toe.
As I've been saying, bada bing, bada boom, bada back of the net. That was beautiful ball movement and spacing.
So
critical.
Olivia Matthews, number 2, I believe that's either 5 or 6 for her.
5 or 6, maybe double Hattie.
11-0, 4:25 left to play.
Boy, that was pretty lacrosse.
It was.
Back to the draw circle we go. Familiar.
And that's basically the difference. You know, these are a few more, more experienced players, more depth on Bedford. Kids who play year-round, play the indoor the whole bit. South has some kids who do that, but not enough of them. But enough to give them a 14-win season, which is what they were looking for.
Well, James Madison's got themselves a good athlete in Matthews. That's for darn sure. High-quality D1 team. Purnell carries the ball down the slot, gets roughed up as she gets to the 8-meter mark, and we're going to keep it there on a restart at the center hash. She's got a great first step. Let's see where it takes her. 3:20 and counting now. Takes 3 steps. Walsh reads it immediately.
8 saves for Walsh now on the day.
Some of them were lights out, like I said earlier.
They've been good. They've been good.
One more clear, maybe one more attempt in the books here for South. Really, really excellent season. They lost I think they lost 9 players.
Lost 9 players last year, but they had a lot of younger players. Their younger players were their better players for some of the younger players were their better players last year, and so they knew that they were going to have a good team coming back. But Kiki McIntyre's done a great job with this program. She really has.
My vote for Coach of the Year in D1, if you ask me.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
But here today, Bedford, you got Karina O'Donnell, number 5. Haven't been able to call her name. They've shut her down.
And after the slip dodge is a whistle, and it'll be a free possession for the Bulldogs with 2:19 to play. Rich McDonough, I think I'm going to make my way down to the field.
All right, my man.
There's not going to be any stoppage in play. Andrew Fenn, it's been a pleasure working with you today.
Absolutely.
Let's do it again sometime.
All right, Tom, see you in a bit for game 2. And there goes Enners. She's got a cannon with that right hand, and she makes it 12 zip at the 2-minute even mark. And Tom King's going to head down to the field. Rich McDonough here. We're going to wind you out. We're under 2 minutes. Like I just said, we have the clock still running, as is the rule when you get up this far in the second half. And again, it's been a terrific season, notwithstanding the 12-0 deficit for the Nashua South Panthers. A terrific season engineered by Coach McIntyre. Players dug in and bought in, and lots of credit to them for getting to the semifinals for the first time since 2007, I believe. That's a long time coming, 16 years, but they got to keep their chins up. That is a terrific effort and a great season they put together. They'll finish up at 15-5, and they got to like it. All right, about to hit the 1-minute mark. Bedford just throwing the ball long and wide, way outside now, killing the clock. No doubt about the result in this one. The only question is, who will the Bulldogs see on championship evening? And A good feed results in one more goal.
Number 29, Reagan O'Brien.
And Reagan O'Brien adds another one. Again, she's going to Penn. And she was a preseason All-Stater, and we can see why. She was the 2022 New Hampshire All-State first team and has the whole package. She's speed, checking, shooting, ball handling, and that's why she is also going D1. All right, we're at the 15-second mark and counting. One more face-off coming, unless they take forever. They don't. It pops into the hands of Karina O'Donnell. We just called her name. She cannot get a shot off, even though she's heading down the right slot. But a really solid defensive effort by the Bedford Bulldogs. They find themselves back at championship evening. Only question, as I just said, is who is going to be their opponent? Will it be Portsmouth or Bishop Girton? That game's coming up in about 45 minutes. We're going to be doing that broadcast for Nashua ETV. But tonight, we had a great evening and a great joint production with Bedford Community Television. Andrew Fenn is our producer here. Has been a real pleasure, Andrew. I enjoyed getting to meet you. I'm Rich McDonough for Tom King. For BCTV and Nashua ETV, we will see you at 7 o'clock, and we'll see you down the road. Good night, everybody.